Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Alexander and today I'll be talking to you about MoodCubes, which we designed to be immersive spaces for collecting, discovering, and envisioning inspiration materials. Before we get started, I just want to give a special thank you to the co-authors on the paper, David Ledo, Tovi Grossman, George Fitzmaurice, Fraser Anderson, and the creative practitioners who tested out our system. Without your support and mentorship during my internship last summer at Autodesk and the University of Toronto, this simply wouldn't be possible. Creative practitioners are constantly dealing with these wicked problems or open-ended challenges that are extremely difficult to solve because of their complex and interconnected nature. Now, because of this high complexity, a common practice across creative disciplines is to arrange collections of assets into mood boards. These mood boards can help steer the direction of a project early on and act as a boundary object during discussions with collaborators. Meanwhile, design software like Milanote offer a digital environment for creating aesthetic moods as well. And so, in this poster design mood board example, a collection of reference images, color swatches, links to multimedia, typographic elements, and even design notes are all put together across the virtual canvas. In 2012, Andres Lucero made the case for using mood boards in HCI by highlighting 5 roles that mood boards play in the early stages of the design process: framing, aligning, paradoxing, abstracting, and directing. Meanwhile, more recent systems like ImageSense have started to feature intelligent suggestions for things like images, text, and color palettes as well. And so, as seen across these examples, mood boards are a really great way to quickly put together visual assets. However, many of the creative workflows of today go beyond these types of assets. Multimedia such as video, audio, 3D models, and lighting effects have a limited capacity to really be expressed in these mood boards. Instead, these media types are often stored in disjoint online locations that take time to search through and curate. We see this on places like Pinterest boards, YouTube playlists, and messy file systems as well. And so when practitioners eventually do want to connect these assets, they often have to do so in the later prototyping stages of their projects, which can require expert knowledge of creative apps like Unity, Premiere, and Maya. And so, for this reason, we set out to create a system that addressed 3 key challenges with the existing systems. First, mood boards bias really towards 2D images, neglecting things like audio, video, 3D models, and lighting. Meanwhile, alternative externalizations, such as prototypes, are more suited for the later stages of a project, which can also be time-consuming and tedious to create. And then finally, online searches lead to disjointed sources between different websites, assets, and more in the file system, which can be difficult to all put together in a cohesive mood. And so to tackle these challenges, we developed MoodCubes, an interactive system to help creative practitioners rapidly explore design ideas during the early stages of their projects in a unified space. Now let's take a look at how some of the unique components of our MoodCube systems come together. To import an asset, viewers can drag in images, video, audio files, and 3D GLTF files directly into our MoodCubes app. After the import is complete, a 3D representation of their contents is generated, which can then be adjusted using standard 3D transformation tools. When audio is imported, directional audio plays from the song's album art, enabling dynamic mixing of audio playback as the cube is rotated. In this next example, listen to how the timbre of the cube changes as the rotation of the cube is adjusted. Pretty cool. Each imported asset is also deconstructed and analyzed to help the creative practitioner discover generated and relevant media. The lower suggestions panel in the system includes 3D primitive forms with extracted color information, lighting effects that match the look and feel of the imported asset, extracted color palettes, related images found on the web, and relevant keywords to describe the asset, and 3D models from Sketchfab. Like all assets, these can be directly dragged into the scene to import them too. Meanwhile, the MoodCube system also includes remixing tools that can be applied to the entire cube. The Lenses tool features a set of filters that can alter the asset's material properties. They can also make changes to the colors of the assets in the cube and apply different lighting effects to the scene. The Align operator also provides control over assets in the cube. As the viewer clicks on different tiles on the floor, the assets within the cube slide to align to different walls. A similar effect can be seen with the Rotate tool, with elements in the cube changing direction based on the activated floor tile. Finally, the cube color and background color of the scene can be changed too. Now, with all these operators available, we decided it was important to include a versioning system for keeping track of previous cube designs. After pressing the upper plus button to save multiple iterations of their cube, the designer can enter the versions view to reflect on previous designs surrounding the current cube and restore deleted assets. To put our system to the test, we first created multiple MoodCubes ourselves. This cyberpunk MoodCube was designed to set the look and feel of an imaginary film. And here's an example of a candy shop design we envisioned. This beachside MoodCube was created to depict what our perfect vacation in Hawaii might look like. And finally, we also envisioned a video game concept that was set to take place in a forest setting. While it was great to use MoodCubes ourselves, we were also really interested in how other people might use MoodCubes in their creative practice. And so, we designed a study to better understand how creative practitioners might use MoodCubes. Before the study, we sent a pre-study questionnaire to participants to get to know their background a little bit. During the study then itself, the participants were then asked to share their screen via Zoom and walk through a video tutorial of the system. Once a feature was demonstrated in the video, we asked participants to replicate the step using a think aloud approach. Participants were then given 30 minutes to create a MoodCube with the following prompt. Think of a past project in which you might have or would have liked to use a mood board. In the next 30 minutes, create a MoodCube that you would use for that project today. We then turned off our camera and provided time for them to just create. After the session, participants performed a walkthrough of their creation with us and discussed what they would do with maybe a little more time. We then asked them to reflect on the system in general and highlight challenges they encountered while using MoodCubes. We ran the study 8 times with a variety of creative professionals who had experience collecting inspiration materials. This included sessions with designers, cinematographer, an architect, and even a costume designer. After running these sessions, here were the resulting MoodCubes. After performing a qualitative analysis of the sessions and reflecting on our own experiences, we identified a couple common usage patterns in our MoodCube systems. This includes themes around how the overall system was used, how the three-dimensional space of the cube was leveraged, the learning curve for the system itself, and comparisons to other kinds of software too. While we don't really have time to get into all the detailed observations we had today, here are a few behaviors we found particularly interesting. The role of serendipity played a huge role in many participants' cubes. In this recording from the study, we see participant 3 iteratively exploring different sections of the suggestions menu to add to their collection. Meanwhile, participant 5 said, "The first idea I was going to do was different to what I did. I went up at the beginning to do something abstract and just to get different shapes, but it actually suggested physical items, clothing, and curtains, so I created more in the space." 3 participants also demonstrated the use of scaffolding in the creation process. Participant 2, for example, created a sketch in the early stages of their creative process to better understand the layout of the scene. They then placed the sketch along the MoodCube floor and used it as a guide for placing 3D objects in the space. Unlike traditional CAD software, participants found the real-time lighting effects present in MoodCubes particularly helpful for visualizing their scene. Participant praised the design, stating, "You can actually see how lamps interact with the sketch." While participant 1 said, "MoodCubes is a nice way to have some preliminary ideas about lights. I could play around with where I want the lights to hit." And so, with this feedback from participants, we believe we've addressed many of the challenges that traditional systems for collecting inspiration materials face. MoodCube supports a number of different media types, including images, video, spatial audio, and 3D models. As seen in the 30-minute sessions by participants in our study, MoodCubes also enables the rapid composition of these assets. Meanwhile, the system centralizes the storage of these assets in a unified space to ultimately form a cohesive mood. For more details about the results of our study, be sure to check out our full paper and reach out to us for any questions.